What up, dudes, and welcome back to the Video Games Podcast Side Quest, where we take a topic that maybe didn't have enough time to cover in a main episode, or a subject you guys have brought up and asked us, and we'll answer it here.
Yeah, and today we're not talking about feet. We've talked about feet. We're actually just going to talk about toes. People who are very, very, very into toes, like gnarled toes. That's got to be a fetish, right?
Well, we'll know for sure when the Totally Spies reboot comes back, and there's a whole episode dedicated to toes.
All right, I guess I'll just wait for that then. No, actually, I wanted to talk about something, and then we decided we're going to hold off. We're going to do a full podcast episode on it, but I wanted to do a small side quest, sort of talking about our thoughts on this episode topic that we're going to do in a few weeks. So, a dude that's been on the podcast and is a patron as well, Nicholas De Leon, commented on a tweet thread about, is this gaming generation a dud? And I saw it and thought, like, holy shit, that's kind of a
So that says itself. Like this year, as in PS5, Xbox Series S and X.
right. And he in his comment on Twitter basically ends with like Steam Deck and Switch still killing it. But I would say Steam Deck and Switch, not of this generation. Like
Yeah, I
it's not a
mean,
PS5.
not
It's not
really, because like
PS5 or
Switch is like 3 years before PS5 and Series X, which
right. I would say it's PS4's generation.
and a Switch is more or less like, I get it, because like the Wii U timeline wise lines up with the PS4. Would be the Wii U would be the PS4 Xbox One time frame, because like basically that means Nintendo's had more system generations than the other guys or whatever. Well, they always did, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it was like N64 PlayStation, GameCube PS2, Wii PS3, Wii U PS4, Switch PS5. Right? If you line them up.
Right, but didn't the Wii U come out before the PS4?
Like 1 year before
Wow.
the PS4.
Okay.
But the Wii U was more or less just a slightly better PS3 internally, guts wise, and a Switch is just a PS3 Plus. Right, at the end of the day,
It's the same tech. So
I'm sorry, a PS3 Pro, I should say.
I went down. We went down a rabbit hole where we were going to do that as this topic for this week. But then we started talking about how, like, oh, it's getting into that season. Yeah, E3 is dead.
There's supposed to be a rumored big Sony State of Play in May, one that's going to quote unquote blow your balls off.
My poor balls.
Yeah. And Microsoft has officially announced that there will be a June 11th summer press conference, followed directly by a Starfield Direct right after it. So like Starfield will get its own whole show after their other show, which hopefully means no Starfield in the other show. So Microsoft has to do a whole lot of convincing everyone why they should buy an Xbox.
And speaking of Starfield, it just got its ESRB rating, and we learned more about what that's going to be.
Drugs, apparently.
And drugs.
But here's the thing. My immediate thought of like, is the PS5 Xbox Series generation, is it a dud? Yes. Unequivocally, yes. There are like 4 fucking PS5 games that require a PS5 and are only on PS5 and can only be on PS5, and don't have a PS4 version in some way.
What are they? Because what is it? God of War?
No, God of War is on PS4.
It is?
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok's on PS4. Horizon 2 is on PS4.
Right.
It's Ratchet and Clank. It's Returnal, which is now on PC as well.
Ratchet and Clank makes sense,
actually. Ratchet and Clank, Returnal, Demon Souls, and then there's like a couple technicalities like Astrobot Playroom, which is bundled in with the system, and like Destruction All Stars, which is probably dead at this point, anyways.
So RE4 Remake is on PS4 as well.
Yeah, of course.
Man, they really just can't get away from the PS4.
Yeah, no, it's a problem. I mean, that's just first party. I'm trying to think. There's probably some third party that are PS5
but that's going to be the future of gaming, right? Because as gaming consoles become more and more basically just PCs, you're going to have these long.
Well, it's such a shitty thing, because it feels like the PS5 is not a PS5. It feels like a PS4 Pro Pro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's a better PS4 Pro, which was a better PS4. We're kind of still playing the same shit. It's just it's better resolution and it's better frame rate generally, but it's the same fucking game on all three systems: PS4, PS4 Pro, PS5. So
yeah,
yes, this console generation is a fucking dud. Why did we pay $500, for this big expensive exclusive console when like nothing is warranting. This is not a game that could never ever be played. When you play fucking, Link to the Past, that is a game that could never ever ever in any way be done on an NES. Mario 64 cannot in any way, shape, or form be played on a Super Nintendo. There could never be a downscaled version of Mario 64 to play on a Super, even with a Super FX chip too. You
right.
couldn't do it, right? And then you could not play a game like you couldn't play a game like Wind Waker or Mario Sunshine or Metroid Prime. Could never be played on an N64. You could never be done. You just wouldn't be able to do it. So what the fuck is this? Is the PS5 offering that PS4 Pros couldn't do from a content standpoint? And that's really nothing. It's just
And
resolution.
how
and
long
frame
will
rate.
this generation last then?
Good question. And that's why we kind of, I guess, we're saying like we don't really know if now is necessarily the time to ask. Is this generation a dud? It's a dud so far, but it's not done. It may not even be nearly done.
Right. We're definitely not even halfway through yet.
Who was it? There was something that came out in all the fucking Sony Microsoft legal battles. Where it was 27 or 28 was when they planned to launch a new system. Like it's already sort of like on the books.
Wow. I guess that's 5 years away. That's
4 to 5 years from now.
Yeah, that's sort of normal-ish.
It's long, but like PS3 was long, PS4 was long, so makes sense that PS5 would be long too. And it feels like PS5 again, it hasn't gotten going yet. When Sony stops fucking releasing major first party titles on PS4 as well as PS5, then I'll say the PS5 generation actually fucking started.
Right.
I guess maybe Spider-Man 2 is that game. You could argue Gran Turismo 7 was kind of that game, I think, but whatever. Gran Turismo, people hate Gran Turismo 7.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why anybody feels strongly about any driving game personally.
And to point out, Microsoft's fucking far worse on this aspect.
Yeah, well, Microsoft with Game Pass, I don't think they don't have any generations anymore. They're not going to have any gaming generations ever anymore.
No.
I do sort of think if after this next, blow your balls off thing, nothing actually blows your balls off. I should say I would love it if this actually hits. If this is like, holy shit, they blow my mind. Truly, fuck, I want it so bad. But if after this, I don't know, sales start to dwindle, right? Like people stop giving a shit if you're 2 years in.
I mean, the really only way to really do it at this point is even if the games don't look that much more of a leap, if they're just exclusive to that system, people will buy the system.
Right.
I don't want to not be able to play games, right? Like I don't want to. People are not going to want to not be. People want to be able to play Spider-Man 2.
Right.
And even if the game doesn't look that much better than the last Spider-Man game, but it's only on PS5, we'll buy a PS5. That makes things kind of shady and swindly. Welcome to the game industry.
Yeah.
But like at least give people
an industry,
reason.
Not a racket.
But at least give people, I guess, if anything, just give people that reason to buy that game.
Right.
Or buy that system then. So I don't want to say, I guess you and me are both kind of like, I don't really want to say definitively this is a dud of a generation yet.
So we're going to do this topic. We're totally going to jack that Twitter idea and do a topic on it. But after that Microsoft, basically sometime in June, we'll be doing it. But the reason that I wanted to do this as a side quest really quick is give me your takes. Give me your takes, or like maybe comment in Patreon or on the YouTube video.
This doesn't need a YouTube video.
Well, I mean, it'll be unlisted, so some people watch it on YouTube rather than directly on Patreon.
Side quest? No, I've only done it once.
No. Side quest. I upload to YouTube unlisted to then put on Patreon.
I thought you were talking about just something else. Never mind.
Oh yeah, no,
My,
not on the Yo Video Games
my
channel.
brain's goes elsewhere.
That's fair. It's late night. um, but I wanted to kind of like get some takes and stuff on one. Do you actually think this generation has even started? Uh, and if you have bought a PS5, has it been worth the money yet?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see it being worth the money, but man, if you think this is not a dud of a generation, like you think this is it's been off to a great start. Please, I kind of want to know, like, yeah, like, and maybe I guess for Demon Souls fans, really for sure, yeah. But
If you never bought a PlayStation 4 Pro, if you were still on a stock PlayStation 4,
that was me.
right, and then you bought, because it's old as hell, you bought a PlayStation 5,
Five.
probably this generation isn't a dud. It's a pretty big step up in performance from the
But that's
PlayStation
me,
4.
and I'm still yes, it's a dud.
Right, but it's not fair to say you're a standard consumer.
Oh yeah.
Like, you play way more games than the standard consumer. Your life revolves around critiquing and
Hmm.
observing the industry. So I not to be a dick, in this instance, I don't care about necessarily your feelings on it, because your
Yeah,
feelings are going to be way more
because I'm
informed.
the hyper enthusiast. Like,
Right.
what about a regular person?
Yeah, like a person who's going to buy 6 games a year,
Hmm.
you know,
Or less.
or less. Um, like, if this console generation isn't a dud for you because so far you've gotten 3, 4 games this year already that you've played on PS5 or whatever, and you're like, holy fuck, this has killed it for me. I'm great. I'm happy. Even if they aren't PS5 exclusives or like this generation exclusive, if they were also on PS4, but you've got them on PS5, so you're pleased with PS5 or pleased with your Series XS tricky.
Sex box.
If you're pleased with that, I am actually interested in it. And what's the big thing? What's the thing if you're not pleased with it? What could save it? What
Yeah.
could they announce where you're like,
What is your blow? What is the blow your ball off moment?
yeah?
What will blow your balls off
Do you
for
do you
next
have a
gen?
blow your balls off?
Yeah. I got. There's for me for blowing my balls off right now. It won't really blow my balls off, but like I can think of like two things that'll make me very fucking happy. And yeah, you already know that Ghost of Tsushima. It's big, it's colorful. There's a lot, and I mean a lot more people like inhabiting the world. It's more populated. There's more things to do.
Mm,
You can go and like play mahjong or like some I don't know ancient board game with people. You can. There's more interactivity. There's more like just whatever. Just more going on. It's bigger. It's more beautiful. It's more colorful.
yeah,
It doesn't in any way, shape, or form go into like drab grays, constantly or anything like that. A big, expansive, colorful Ghost of Tsushima 2. If Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is actually open world or just very, very, very wide linear, like enormous, like Horizon map levels of open or big, in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That would make me really happy because it's like, okay, yeah, PS4 could not have done this, but a PS5 could easily,
right,
yeah, okay, yeah, they opened this shit up. They took the battle system from Remake and then they put it in a massively bigger environments, like natural environments too, not just like shitty city. Um, that'll blow them up. Fable comes back and Fable fucking kills it.
right,
Like they just fucking kill it. Like Playground Games, I believe they're the rumored ones making it. Forza Horizon people, they just fucking murder it. Like it's gorgeous, it's huge, it's fluid, it's fun.
yeah,
It's got better mechanics, better quality of life, better interactivity with people in the morality system. Fable comes and fucking murders it. Perfect Dark really embraces its cyberpunk roots. Um, and Perfect Dark comes out and just is fucking killing it. Like whatever problems they've been having, they get over it. And Perfect Dark comes out and it's fucking great and wild and unique. That'll blow my balls off. Those are my Those are my blow my balls off.
Those would do a lot
And
for
they're
us.
all announced, technically, I think. Well, not Ghost, but yeah.
Technically, but we know that's got to be coming. No, I've been seeing talk of like another Dead Rising, and I was like, oh, that could blow my balls off if they actually did, the NVMe drive and the processing power of a PS5, which is what I would probably play it on or a PC, but PS5, you could do some like real big fucking hordes. You could do some like real crazy, full blown city Dead Rising, all the fun shit of Dead Rising. You could blow it up to a 10, you know?
Mm.
I would like to see games that take it. I mean, Ratchet and Clank, for all the, joke of it being the only PS5 game that is truly next gen so far, you know, it really did take advantage of the NVMe drive. Sorry, it's Sony's proprietary. It's totally not an NVMe drive, but it's
Sure.
taking advantage of the NVMe drive and like how fast that shit can load. I would like to see more games. Yeah, open world games will benefit from it a lot, but like you could get games like Splitgate, you could make another Portal, like, but that take advantage of that loading capability. That will blow me away. If Starfield doesn't suck cocks, because I actually want Starfield to be good.
I mean, look, I'm the biggest like hater of Bethesda, but it's like I don't want Do I want Starfield to be bad? No, I actually want Starfield to be good. I want Starfield to be great.
I want it to be real good. I want it to be
Would I play it if it even was good or great? If Starfield was an 11 out of 10, would I play it? Probably not. But
oh, that's too bad.
Games shouldn't be bad. You shouldn't ever want any game to be bad. Well, unless you have like a personal vendetta or whatever, like this piece of shit, like guy is
David Cage.
profiting off it. Yeah. David Cage games I could be happy with if they're never successful again, just because he's such a weird asshole. But yeah, I don't want games in general to be bad. I want Starfield to be good.
Yeah,
it won't be, but I want it to be.
No, it's gonna be great. Stop it.
In a couple of years, when the modders fix it,
well, I can wait. But yeah, please let us know what it is that's going to blow your balls off. And in a couple weeks, we are going to revisit this topic and do a full episode. I don't think even then it won't be fair necessarily to determine the entire generation as a dud, but we'll hedge it with thus far.
Yeah, well, I think I'm hoping this is going to be a big revealing summer.
I want it.
Where we get a really good idea of like where we're going for this, because if it's still sort of like stillborn, then I'm like, okay, this is really turning into a dud generation.
I want the hype. I want the hype. I want that like screaming, like we're bouncing on the balls of our feet because we're so amped up about this thing. I want what we originally reacted to when Colonial Marines was told to us, and we were all like, "Look at this fucking shirt! It's got the plasma rifle, like it's got the fight." And yeah, I want that. Like when we piled out of that theater and we were all amped up and screaming, before we found out that it was all bullshit and our hearts were broken. I want that again. First fuck. That's what I want. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Later, dudes.